Hey everybody, it's Jen. Hi, I am going to show you some new thing that I am using that I love, and it's called CoSchedule. A lot of you may have heard about CoSchedule before. I have heard about it probably, I don't know, a couple of years now. People have been talking about it, and it's been improving and improving. But even in the beginning, when people first started talking about it, I kind of was jealous and thought, wait, hey, I probably need that. But as a single blogger, and I don't mean not married, but one person working on one blog, without posting really more than once a week, it really was overkill for me. However, I recently started a site with another blogger, really good friend of mine. We created a parenting site for parents of kids with special needs, and it's a contributor site. And we were having a heck of a time keeping everything organized because you have submissions coming in, and you have posts, and you have social media, and you have all kinds of stuff going on. And I just finally bit the bullet and said, you know what, it's time for us to give CoSchedule a try because I've heard so many great things about it. And you know what? It's amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we are using CoSchedule right now. And I am hoping that it will give you an idea of how easy it is to use CoSchedule. I'm not really going to do like a how to set up CoSchedule because their own video on that is really just perfect. I just want to show you how a contributor blog would use CoSchedule, or even a blog that posts like more than 3 or 4 times a week. This would also probably be really beneficial for you. So I am just going to start by showing you how you can add a post. Now, there are two places. There is actually an plugin on WordPress for CoSchedule. So if you go to like this is my WordPress dashboard, and if you see right here, it says calendar, and it's showing you basically the exact same view as this CoSchedule calendar. And I'm really kind of just learning this too, but anything I do here, it seems like it is automatically translated over to the WordPress end of it. And I don't know why I like working in the calendar version of it for some reason. I think it's just because it's bigger, but you can really do either way. So to get started, obviously you can see I have tons of posts in here, and all kinds of things. There's posts, there's tasks. These are little tasks. There's social media shares. There are notes. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I have things color coded, but I'm just going to start from the beginning and then work at the other things. So I have a post that is ready to get loaded into WordPress. And normally what I would have done is I would have gone into WordPress and I would have done add posts, but I can actually do that now directly from CoSchedule. Now I'm going to just do it here. There's two ways. I can just any day click a little pencil and this create new pops up. I can also go here and click this and the same thing pops up. It's really about personal preference. If you know what day you want your post to show up on, then you might as well just do it right on the day. I am going to be loading a post that actually doesn't have a day. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to click blog post. And now it wants us to enter the title. Now here's something really awesome. It has like a title generator, or what is it called? They call it a title, it's a headline analyzer. Okay, so we're going to enter in a title here. What I learned from a sweater. Now here's the thing. We're bloggers. This site, yes, or this program was built for bloggers and content creators. However, I think that, its main gear is towards people who are like selling a product or doing like social media type, trying to get some traffic generated to more product information, or I don't know, like a pro blogger kind of site. So, for personal bloggers, our headlines might not be that great. So for instance, it's giving us a 66 here for our headline, and it's saying that we're getting a B plus, which isn't bad. I'll take a B plus from them on our headlines because, like I said, a lot of the headlines we're doing aren't even getting that because our headlines are more emotional and it doesn't even see that as emotional. because, it's a computer. So anyway, it has that cute little thing. So here we go. What I learned from a sweater. Now here it already knows all of my categories for my blog. I know that this post is about Down syndrome, but it's also about sensory issues. So I'm going to choose my categories right away. I know the author is Ivana. I'm going to find her. Okay, I do enter all of my authors ahead of time. So if you're a multi-author blog, you still have to enter your authors in as users, unless you just embed them in their posts. But if you are using some sort of an author plugin, you will still need to enter your authors in first. Okay, so there's that. I'm not going to be scheduling this. All my posts that are unscheduled, I color code hot pink. And you'll see I haven't undone that completely yet, but I'm trying to use this color coding system. We're just starting, so we're kind of still, growing pains of learning this program. But for me, the posts that are not mine or my partners, they are color coded hot pink until they're published. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit in WordPress. So now it actually opens WordPress up for me. And it's saying, okay, go for it, start making your post. Well, I'm going to just make this really quick. What I'm doing for this one is I'm just going to copy and paste her post. And this is actually what I do, so it's not even like I'm just taking a shortcut. So my job is taking in the posts. And Christy, my partner, she does the editing and she creates the graphics. I am like the intake, I do some of the communication with the authors, and I do the social media scheduling. So all I need to do is enter this and then hit Save Draft. And just so that you see, I can't remember. Yeah, this has been a little quirky thing, and I'm going to be sending them a little message about that. It doesn't necessarily translate our categories into here, but when I go back, I think they're there, and then when I come back again, they're here. So I just want to show you this though. Okay, so here is CoSchedule again. So there's a little CoSchedule menu underneath every single post. So you can, we'll actually go back to it in a little bit, and you can see. So I saved this as a draft, and I am going to go back here where this is, and there's a couple more things I want to do. So this is the awesome thing. This is why I love this. So you can have tasks. You can go in and you can add a new task right here just by saying, we need a task. We need to make this post awesome. Now, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to delete this in a second. We're going to make this post awesome. And I can actually, we're using CoSchedule for teams, which is a little bit more expensive than solo CoSchedule. There's a workaround with solo CoSchedule. If you don't want to pay for the team, you can create one user that you both use, and it has to have the same login from your website. So we have a login that's just Break the Parenting Mold that is different from me and Christy. But then we decided we were going to use the team program. So each of us we can assign the task to a specific person. Right now I'm just keeping it though, actually I'm keeping it there. So, and now you can say, when is this task due? The task is day before you publish, 3 days before, but you can also pick or take a custom date. So you put this task in, say it's 3 days, and I say add task. So now this is a task that has to be done before it's published. There's a little check mark, and it's going to tell me what % of tasks needs to be done. Now, if you get the solo lowest end plan, you can only add tasks this way. Okay, I'm going to delete this task really quickly, and luckily it's one of those things that asks you lots of questions. But if you go any higher than the solo basic plan, you can actually create templates of checklists. So I have a template called checklist that I created, and when I apply this template, all of my, because every post has the same requirements for us to publish it. So here I am with every single requirement that I have, and from asking the author for a bio, because sometimes we'll get a post without a bio, but I like to be able to enter them in as soon as I get them so we don't get confused. Asking author for images, and then contact the author with the publish date, create the author. Unfortunately, it doesn't know the difference between 7 days, but I would do this one first. I may go in and change that and make this earlier so it shows up earlier, because obviously it's important. But if it's not, if you can always see it did this. This is what has happened, I've noticed too. This is a little quirk. It does default sometimes to the wrong author when you go back and forth. So Ivana is the right author, and it did default back to the other categories. So we're going to just do this. So maybe that's a learning curve for me too, which is pick these things after entering in the post in WordPress. So I have a bio. I did ask the author for images already, and she did send them. And I created the author. Create graphics and edit post, that's Christy. SEO and set up social shares, that's me. Here's a little note though. So here's an area you could put comments. This is where I tell Christy that images are in email. So she knows, and then I say add comment, and here it is. So she knows that the images are in the email, and that she needs to get, when she's ready to do images, that she can get them from there. So this is all good for now. Now when the whole post is ready, I can create the social media shares that I want for every post, and I'll go to a post that has all the images and everything in it to show you how that works. Since this post doesn't have any images in it yet, it's kind of hard to do the social media shares. So I put in I put in the title, I put in this, put in the author, I put this. This is nice too, because normally you can't attach an author when you're writing a post. You have to wait till after you've saved the draft, and then you have to go into quick edit and attach a different author. So this is actually a little bit of a shortcut as far as that goes. So this is all done. I'm 33% done with my tasks, and I'm just going to say okay. Now usually what happens is the unpublished drafts, they go in here. They go into this little area right here. Let me show this. Okay, sorry. So trying to find the one that I just entered, because it looks like it's not showing up in here. So it must be somewhere that I did not expect it to go. Did I make it hot pink? And so a lot of times what happens is the post, well, not a lot of times, it always does. When it's a post that you're just creating as a draft, it lands on the day that you've created it. So today's April 25th, and the post is here on April 25th. But I am not ready to give it a date, and it's just a draft. So this day has gone by, and this did not publish because it's draft. I didn't tell it it's scheduled. But so here's the cool little trick. All your little unpublished, come here, my friend. All your little unpublished drafts I just drop right here. Now when I open up WordPress, do you see all this? This is all of my unpublished drafts, and we have our own little system to how we know when when we're going to publish things. We have a color coding system, with the lime green being the posts that are written by us, by Christy and I. And this, we have the date that they were submitted, so we kind of can stay on top of making sure that we post things based on when they're submitted. And then when we are not sure about when a post will go live, what its right places, we've made it purple. So whenever we are ready though to post something, this is what you do. You take it, you drag it, and say, I want it to go on, where did you just go? On the 10th. That is where I wanted it to go. So here it is, on the 10th. So here is the post, and I think this post has images. Let us see if we can do. So here's how we would do a social media share, okay? And this is a post that we added before we had CoSchedule, so it doesn't have the task checklist. So I'm going to just apply that in there, and now we have tasks. So here, I'm going to say I want to share this on the same day as publish. I want to share it to Break the Parenting Mold Facebook, and it automatically pulls the title and the permalink, and it has the image that it's pulling from the site. And you can go right in here and you can type your own little message. This is an awesome post. But you can type your own little thing. So you control everything in here. There's 3 different types of posts. There's image post, which is truly just an image. There's a text post, which is just a text, and the link has the link to the site. So you put it in here and you say add message. It's giving you your choices, same day as published, but you can do any date. It's also giving you the choice of best time, where it determines what the best time is for something to publish, or you can, choose a custom time. You can even, if you use buffer, add it to buffer. So I found to be redundant. I'm still using buffer a lot for Twitter, and I'm using CoSchedule for Facebook. I haven't found that I like Buffer's interface for Twitter. So that's just my personal, my 2 cents. Anyway, I'm not going to do this one because I don't want to forget that I did it. And so that would be how you would add your social. So you can pick same day, day after, week after, month after, custom date, okay? And the other thing so now this is still a draft, but it's still, for us, we're considering it unpublished. So I'm going to drop it right back in there. And the only posts that we have in our calendar are posts that we're ready to send out into the universe. So every single one of these posts, you can see this are pretty much 71% done for the most part if they're right around the corner, because what's left on our tasks is set up social shares, which is almost pretty much done, but I'm double checking those. Email the author that the post is published, because we like to send them the link to the post and the link to their social media, and then repost on social and send thank you. Okay, well, so here you go. So you see, look, email author published, because it's showing up for this one. Email the author that it's published as a task. Repost on social. Do you see how when I hit that? So that's attached to that one, and they'll each have their own little reminders that go with them. And then the next thing that I want to show you how to do is to schedule a standalone message of any kind. So here's a standalone social message. So I can select any of my profiles, and I'm going to select my Facebook, because like I said, I'm really primarily using this for Facebook, but you can use it for Twitter and Pinterest and Google Plus, and I don't think LinkedIn, but Google Plus. So this is what I'm using it for that is just brilliant. Share old post. So this goes back to all my posts it's basically the most recent. Actually, it's missing the most recent. I don't know how it's determining that, to our oldest posts. And I just, here, we'll share this one again. So this is the Dear Mr. Trump, you won't get my special needs daughter's vote. You know what, I don't even need to add anything to this one. Sometimes, you need to add a little text to make the post make sense. But in this situation, I do not, because this post makes sense on its own. So here it is. I added it. It wants to know what date, and I know that I actually need to fill, we're filling weekends mostly with old posts, and one day, I think Tuesdays, but I think I already have a post on that Tuesday. So I'm going to do that, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. It's going to choose the best time to post between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. And I'm really experimenting with this best time. In some situations, I feel like I really know what the best time is, so I'm choosing the time. But in other situations, I really, I pick the time kind of randomly, because I've done my Facebook analytics, and truth be told, our activity is even from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single night. So I'm going to let CoSchedule decide. So I'm going to say add this post. Okay, so now if we go and it's creating the message, you will see that right here is my little Facebook post. And I forgot to mention that I'm color coding this pretty blue, because it makes me think of social media. And in a second, it will turn blue. Why are we not turning blue? All right, there we go. So that is how you do a standalone social message. Now let's do a standalone task. So I have to, actually, I don't know what I have to do right now, but pretend that Ivana, the post I just had, I actually will write email Ivana to let her know post published date. Now, here's the thing, is that that's already one of my tasks in the task calendar, but I just want to show you how this works out. Now, she's definitely not going to get published this week. We're actually we're already scheduled out for 2 more weeks. But next weekend, we should have a date. So I'm going to say save task. And right here is that task. It says email Ivana to let her know post published date. When tasks come and go, you actually get email messages letting you know that you have a task to be completed. So that's a pretty cool thing. And if you do it, you get it crossed off your list, which is awesome. But you can't, you really can't forget stuff. It really doesn't let you forget anything. These are all people I have to contact. And I know that if I don't do this, so these are all my tasks. My tasks are in orange, and I need to do all that. So the other standalone that you can do is make a note. And one of the things that I've used notes for is if I need a little bit more detailed tasks. So I think, one of them is make sure to talk to the authors about pandas. There's a syndrome called pandas. And I have 2 authors who have reached out to me, but neither of them have actually gotten me any content. So how about on Monday, I decide that I need to talk to them. So here we go. Make sure to talk to authors about pandas. And look, here I actually have to get a post from somebody also that I put on Monday. So these are going to be here. I'm going to get little messages saying, hey, you need to do this on this day. And then the other thing you can do is standalone that I have not done and don't have a need to do is create an event or create a different kind of content. So it depends on what you do. You can actually create, this can be just used as a standalone editorial calendar, and if you have different types of content that you use, you can use it. Let's make a little and see what it's, so here you can load video, you can load images, you can load up a file. Google Docs and Evernote actually are integrated within CoSchedule. So there's a lot you can do. Since I don't use those, I'm not going to take the time to show you guys how to use it. It might be something that you like to use, and you need to know that their tutorials are really fantastic. So, what I want to say is that this has really been a lifesaver for us, and there's some other just like really great things. Like for instance, this is a post that ran on Wednesday, and it's really done amazingly, and I get analytics right here. Now, of course, I use a really great social plugin which also gives me analytics, but it's nice to just be able to look right at where the post is and see, oh my gosh, look at this, because also I have mine my plugin set to show only 25 shares or more, and I don't bother with the analytics that much of my social plugin. So this kind of lets me know that, if there's less than 25, there's still shares. And, I can go back and I can say, hey, this had 414 shares, but this one only had 7. So maybe I'm going to share this one next, and I think that that's a really great, because I can go here and I can just say, I can add a social share right here. I can just go in here and I can say that tomorrow I want to share this post again to Facebook. And here I go. And the other thing that I can do is I can, I'm going to cancel this just so we all know that I'm canceling it. But the other thing I can do is I can do a message to a Facebook group. So for those of you who have contributor groups, I can create the messages to my contributor group. And for instance, this one posted, so I'll show it to you because I'm not going to deal with making another one, but right here. So our Facebook share thread, this message was sent, so it's showing it right now that I created a Facebook message that went out to my Break the Parenting Mold contributors, and it was because we have a Facebook share thread. Well, I can't always just be sitting there in front of the computer waiting for 9 a.m. to put a message out. So I schedule out the contributor messages, and then I have time to interact with it when I have time. But nobody's waiting for those share threads to pop up. They're scheduled to pop up. So that's another great thing that you can do is integrate your groups, not just your pages. So, there's a lot to take in. You get all the this is your calendar. You can look at top posts in the settings. There's all kinds of you can take master courses. There's so much that you can do. Oh, and this is your task calendar. If you're using Teams, right now, I'm Break the Parenting Mold, and when Christy's logged in, she sees tasks that are specific to her, and that is really helpful. Is oh, I have 16 tasks I still need to deal with. So there's a lot of things here even that I haven't even touched the surface of, but just looking at this calendar can show you how much you can organize and how well you can organize with each post and with all of the input that you're getting and all the content you're getting. And you don't even have to have this much content to make this work so well for you. So if you have any questions, ask them, please. You know how to reach me. You can send me a message. You can comment on the post. You can also join my Facebook tech support group and ask over there. So, this is CoSchedule. I love it. I'm also going to link to to their tutorial, which gets into some of the things that I didn't get into. But I hope that you enjoy it and have fun using it.